Good afternoon, viewers from all over the world. This is welcoming you to the Coronation Registrars webinar. It's an educative platform where we enlighten ourselves, our shareholders, our clients, and other stakeholders on how we serve and on important topics like the one we are treating today, the issue of unclaimed dividends. Unclaimed dividends continues to be an issue in the Nigerian capital market. It continues to grow at an alarming rate. As at 2024, we have over 200 billion in unclaimed dividends. We choose to discuss this matter today because we believe there's a solution to it. We believe it can be reduced drastically, and we believe we are we are part of the solution to this issue, and we have also brought on board other stakeholders to resolving the unclaimed dividend issues in the capital market. Thank you so much for joining us as we discuss and address these issues today. On this webinar, you will learn why your dividends may still be unclaimed. You will also learn the processes that take place behind the scene before shareholders receive their dividends. You will also know the role of the shareholders in claiming their dividends, the role of the registrars, the role of the stockbrokers, the role of the banks in dividend payments, because dividend, there's a whole lot of stakeholders around dividend payment. So please stay tuned. In the next 2 hours, we are going to go through this. And at the end of the webinar, if you are yet to claim your dividend, it will be very clear to you the steps that you need to take to claim your dividend. So my name is Chiamaka Ugobidike. I'm the Chief Client Officer for Coronation Registrars, and I'll be moderating this session today. So diving into the program, we're going to welcome the Chief Executive Officer of Coronation Registrars, Mr. Seyi Owoturo, to take on the opening remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Chiamaka, for that introduction. And good morning or good afternoon, esteemed guests and distinguished panelists and fellow professionals. My name, as introduced by Chiamaka, is Oluseyi Owotoro. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of Coronation Registrars Limited. And it is my pleasure to welcome you to this all-important webinar titled Unlocking Your Dividend Potential, Why Your Dividend May Still Be Unclaimed. Today's conversation addresses a pressing challenge that affects millions of investors across Nigeria and beyond: the growing volume of unclaimed dividends and the barriers preventing many shareholders from accessing what is rightfully theirs. Despite advancements in financial services and the digitalization of capital markets, too many investors are still held back by outdated records, mismatched bank details, cross-border payment complexities, and legal bottlenecks related to probate. These seemingly small issues continue to create significant gaps in wealth distribution, market participation, and, of course, investor confidence. This indeed is more than a regulatory issue. It is a human one, affecting individuals, families, and legacies. At Coronation Registrars, we are passionate about changing this narrative. Through platforms like Shareholder Life by Coronation, we are reimagining how shareholders engage with their portfolios, from real-time investment tracking to simplified e-dividend mandates, consolidated records, and accessible customer service. This is how we turn shareholder equity into real tangible access. Today's session will do more than just highlight the problems. It will also explore practical data-driven solutions that include mandated accounts, or rather non-mandated accounts, frozen and mismatched bank accounts, delays in claiming dividends from deceased relatives, complexities around cross-border dividend repatriation, and the risk of fragmented shareholder accounts. We are honored to be joined by a respected panel of experts across compliance, banking, stockbroking, shareholder advocacy, and of course, regulation, each bringing valuable perspective to this discussion. Our keynote speaker for today is Mr. Tafa Mekio, Head Monitoring Department of the Securities and Exchange Commission. Our panelists include Mrs. Folusha Adedeji, Head Retail Operation, South, Access Bank PLC, Ms. Ife Ejeze, Managing Director, Cashville Investment and Securities Limited, and she doubles as the second Vice Chairman rather of the Association of Securities Dealing Houses of Nigeria, ASHON, Mr. Adebayo Adeleke, former General Secretary, Independent Shareholders Association of Nigeria, ISON. Our moderator, Chiamaka Ugo Obidike, Chief Client Officer of Coronation Registrar. Thank you for making time to be part of this impactful conversation. Your insight and contributions are critical as we work together to improve investor participation in financial inclusion. I also extend my gratitude to the entire team, our Coronation Registrars, for their dedication in making this possible. Your effort continues to reflect our commitment to operational excellence and shareholder empowerment. So let us begin this conversation, not just with facts and figures, but with the intention to make a lasting difference. Whether you're an investor, market operator, founder, or policymaker, there is something in today's session for you. Thank you for joining us, and I wish us all productive and enlightening discussion. Thank you. Chair Maka, over to you, please. Thank you.
Mr. Woodrow, for that opening remarks, which has set the tone for this conversation today. And like you have rightly said, we're not just going to discuss the problems, we are also going to be addressing the problems such that at the end of this webinar, people are clear on what to do, investors are well guided on what to do, and they are able to take action that will indeed reduce unclaimed dividends in the Nigerian capital market. Thank you for the team at Coronation Registrars for putting this together. Coronation Registrars is your leading capital market player for shares registration, investor relations, data management, and the likes. And we hold this seminar periodically to continually educate the public, stakeholders on how we serve. Once again, thank you so much for joining us. And we can see questions are already being dropped in the chat. Please make use of the chat pane to drop your questions, your comments, and I can assure you that all of them will be answered. Technology has really played a great role in deciding or in evolving service in the capital market, and the registrars are not left behind. Gone are those days where you have to travel all the way to your registrar office to either change your name, mandate your account, or perform any kind of transaction. Right now, you can do it from the comfort of your home. You can do it from anywhere. Gone are the days you need to come to the registrar office to get your account statement. Right now, you can sit in the comfort of your room and generate your statement. Do you even need, a reference letter of your shareholding position for embassy use or for any other official use? You can actually download and send direct, to the organizations that require such. At Coronation Registrars, this has been made possible using what we call the Coronation, the Shareholder Life by Coronation. It's a digital platform that allows investors manage their portfolio from the comfort of their home. And before we take the keynote address, the keynote presentation for this webinar today, we're going to have Mr. Wisdom Owamanam take us through how to onboard the Coronation Shareholder Life. So please, let's welcome Mr. Victor Wisdom Owamanam as he takes us through very quickly on how to onboard the Shareholder Life by Coronation. And viewers and shareholders online, I encourage you to quickly click on the link that has been dropped on the chat pane and do this process with him so that you can onboard quickly. It's a very seamless platform. Victor, Wisdom, over to you, please. Thank you.
Thank you so much, our amiable host, for this wonderful time. So my name is Wisdom Owamanam, and today I would be walking you through Shareholder Life, right? So the first thing I want to say is, what is Shareholder Life? So Shareholder Life by Coronation is an innovative digital platform. It was designed to simplify and enhance shareholders' engagement. It was built to address the challenges of long wait times, limited visibility, and a whole lot of manual processes. It empowers our investors with the real time to access their portfolios. It's also a way of giving our investors the power to manage their portfolios on their terms, whether that means checking their dividend payment, updating their personal details, and even as far, just like the host mentioned, you can also get official documents from the Shareholder Life platform. I'll be going on to share my screen just to walk you through how to use this platform. Please let me know when you can see my screen. Yes, please confirm you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen, Wisdom. Please go ahead. Thank you.
All right. So just like as the host said, this URL has been dropped on the chat. You can as well do this with me. So this is what you have when you are first time trying to access the Shareholder Life platform. So you can either log in or register. So we will be walking through the registration process. How do you register on Shareholder Life? So very simple. Click on the register now. When you click on the register now, you have this. So just before I continue, Shareholder Life is available to all investors currently on our list. So that means if you have stock in any of the companies we manage, let's say for Access, MTN, all the stock managed by Coronation Registrar, you have access to this platform. So there are two ways of registering in this platform. You can register by your email address, you can also register by your phone number. For this demo purpose, I'll be registering by email. So I'll be imputing the email address I use in purchasing my stocks. So this time I'll be using this. So I'll be using this email address, wizzyboy181@gmail.com. And so here you select any of the stock we manage for you. So let's say Access Holding, MTN, just a minute to confirm this. Okay, yeah, so I'll be MTN. So this is a test environment just for you to note that this is just our test environment. I'll also show you what you have on the live environment. So here I click agree on terms and condition. Then I click on this register. So you can see on my screen, your account has been successfully set up and your account requires change of password. Kindly click on the link sent to your email inbox to do that. So now I would have to create my password. Just so when you check your inbox, you would have seen an email from Coronation Registrar on setting up my password. I don't know if I want to change my screen just to show the email address. So yeah, so you can click on the link sent to your email and click on the password, then register now. So once you are done with that, you can come back to the sign up page. So let's say I've created my password and I'm now logging in as a shareholder. So yeah, so inputting the password you use and signing in. So this is what we have. this is what we have as a user on Shareholder Life platform. So you can see these are the quick things you can do on Shareholder Life. You can view your portfolio. You can even update your information. On the quick links, you can view your transaction history. So let's say I'm trying to view my transaction. So this transaction history shows you the stocks you bought, how you bought them. So you can see this is the summary of all my stocks, how I bought them. So you can also generate a statement here, assuming I want to download this for any of my official purpose. I can also click on this generate. You see the statement generation has started in the background. So as soon as it's completed, so transaction export sent successfully. So this will be sent as a PDF to your email address, right? So this is viewing your, so you can also check your dividend history. So if you have collected any dividends, so you can see the amount of dividend this account has. You can see the amount, so you can see the claim, you can see the unclaimed dividend. So this just gives, you can also that. So assuming coronation registrar, I want to come to coronation registrar and say, oh, for my platform, I can see that I have so number of unclaimed dividend. How do I claim it? So you see all of this on the platform. You can as well download this, right? So also on the dashboard, it's also good to note that, so yeah, you can see all the total dividend for this account. So this is the claimed dividend, this is the unclaimed dividend. So this is what this platform gives you. It's also good to note that we also have two new features we're launching soon. That is the buy and sell share and dividend investment. These two will be available on the live platform. Like I said, this is just our test environment. This will be available on the live platform before the end of Q2. So shareholders can invest their dividend. You can also buy and sell shares from this platform. So another thing to take note of, your annual reports. So for annual report of the companies you have stock with, you can always check that on Shareholder Life. So let's say click on annual report, so you can see, because Dangote Cement is just what is this user has. So you can see here, I can click on view report. Once you click on the view report, it takes you to where the report is hosted. You can as well download this all on Shareholder Life platform. Just as the host mentioned, here you can get official letters where you can send to embassy for official purpose. So assuming I want to generate portfolio reference letter, I can do this on this platform without coming to, let's say, coronation registrar to do this. I can do it all in the platform. Here, it also gives you real-time access to all your stock. How you can see, these are some of the stocks related to Dangote Cement. You see them here. Then you can see my portfolio. You can see the Dangote. This user has 80 units. This is the price. This is market value, right? So you also, for first-time users, so because this account is a premium account, you will also be required to make a payment of 1,000 naira just to have a robust access to this platform. So yes, one more thing to talk about is the self-service. Here on Shareholder Life, you can also do the self-service, let's say, download. So let me do that. I'll do that on the Life account. So yeah, this is my account as a user of Shareholder Life platform, because the other one we're using is just the demo part of it. So I'm logging into this as a user who has stocks in coronation registrar. So now let's go to the self-service aspect. So this loads up this page where you can update your information. Let's say you want to change your name, you want to update your address, you want to update your signature, even your e-dividend mandates, even your e-dividend and your mandates processing. All of this can be done on this platform. So it's a good time for you to check out this platform and see the usefulness of this platform. Thank you so much. We'll be taking your questions on the chat.
Thank you so much, Wisdom. This is security, service, and security all in one platform. Thank you so much, Coronation Registrars, for bringing your service closer to the investors, for putting it in their palms. You can also download the Coronation Shareholder Live on iStore and Play Store and have it right there on your phone. This is such an interesting platform. And just to say that Coronation Registrars are registrars to Access Holdings PLC, MTN Nigerian Communications PLC, Airtel Africa, Dangote Cement, ICO, Caverton, Aradel, Air Liquid, Magnicos, Taco, and CMB. If you have shares in all these companies, please ensure to click on the tab on the chat pane and on board on the Coronation Shareholder Life so that you can manage your portfolio from anywhere in the world, just for a token of 1,000 Naira for a year. Thank you so much, Wisdom, for that presentation. Please also drop in the comment section if there are additional features you would like to see on the Shareholder Life by Coronation. If there are additional things you'd like us to add, please drop it in the comment section and we will attend to it. And just to let us know that we have our team to respond to your questions, in addition to the panel, the panelists and the keynote speaker that will also respond to your question. We have our team from Coronation Registrars. So please keep dropping those questions, keep dropping those comments, and you will definitely get answers. Thank you so much, Wisdom, for that presentation. So we move on straight into the keynote presentation. And to take this keynote presentation is Mr. Taofa Makior. Mr. Taofa Makior is the head monitoring department of the Securities and Exchange Commission. He will be speaking on our team, the topic for today, unlocking your dividends potential while you may still have unclaimed dividends. We encourage you to stay tuned, listen very well, and then ask questions as based on his presentation or on any area where you need clarity. He's a veteran in the industry. He has been with SEC for about 20 years, and he's still there and working around governance and ensuring that all shareholders get their dividends. This is welcoming Mr. Taofa Makior. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. Please go ahead, sir.
Thank you very much, amiable host, Chiamaka. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, good afternoon, distinguished Chief Executive Officer of Coronation Registrars, my esteemed speakers and panelists, ladies and gentlemen, and most importantly, our dynamic, forward-thinking shareholders and investors joining us across Nigeria and beyond. My name, as was given by the host, is Taofa Makior. I head the monitoring department of the Securities and Exchange Commission. It is a profound honor to address you at this incredibly timely and vital webinar on a matter that strikes at the very heart of our capital markets purpose. That is, ensuring that the wealth generated by our vibrant Nigerian companies flows transparently and efficiently back to you, the rightful owners of the wealth. So in a world where your smartphone is a supercomputer in your pocket, your car is getting smarter by the day, and your favorite apps manage every aspect of your life, isn't it time your investment income worked just as smartly for you? We're here today because for many, it isn't. The theme of this webinar, Unlocking Your Dividend Potential, Why Your Dividend May Still Be Unclaimed, could not be more apt as it cuts right to the heart of financial empowerment in the 21st century. Dividends are not abstract financial terms. They are the tangible fruits of your smart decisions, patience, and contribution to Nigeria's economic growth. They present your direct share of a company's success. Yet, for too many, this hard-earned potential remains locked away, waiting to be claimed. Today, we're not just discussing a problem, we're providing a roadmap to a solution. We're going to understand the complexities and why this problem occurs, clarify the process, and most importantly, empower you with the knowledge to reclaim your rightful wealth. So let us look at dividends. More than just cash, your untapped wealth. For the young, ambitious, and working class investors amongst us here today, the concept of dividends often feels like a distant benefit, overshadowed by the excitement of stock price appreciation. So each time we see stock prices going up, there's so much excitement, and we tend to forget that there's even something better with dividends. But let me tell you, dividends are the bedrock of sustainable wealth creation and a critical component of achieving financial independence. This is evident from records on declared dividends and paid in 2024 in Nigeria. So I'll just give you a quick statistic based on some of the numbers that we have put together. So we did an assessment of the dividends that were declared and paid in year 2024. And roughly, we came to a figure of total dividend declared by public companies in Nigeria in 2024 to slightly over 1 trillion. And guess what? From the returns that we got from the registrars, when we put together all the returns that we got from the registrars, we realized that almost 1 trillion was paid out as dividends to shareholders. At the end of 2024, what we had that was still unclaimed, but still being paid, was 65 billion. So I'm sure you agree with me that we're doing well. There's still challenges, but there's something good happening. And anyone that is not on this train is really missing. Distinguished participants, there are different ways of looking at dividends. So I invite you to think of dividends as passive income. Dividends are recurring income paid to you simply for owning shares. It's money working for you, allowing you to build wealth even while you sleep or focus on your career, especially for the young and upwardly mobile professionals. Dividends also have this compounding power. When you have reinvested dividends, which means that you get dividends and you buy more shares, what that happens is that you generate even more dividends, creating a powerful compounding effect that significantly accelerates your wealth growth over time. My dear participants, this is how true generational wealth is built, not just from trading, but from ownership. Dividends also provide financial stability, especially in volatile markets. As you know, markets go through turbulent times. But even during turbulent times, dividends can provide a steady stream of income, cushioning your portfolio against short-term fluctuations and offering a sense of financial security. And then finally, dividends provide you a share in national growth. Every dividend paid is a testament to corporate success, a direct reflection of your participation in Nigeria's economic growth. So when we talk about unclaimed dividends, we're really talking about billions of naira that could be funding your dreams, your next investment, your down payment on a home, or simply providing a safety net. This is not just a regulatory issue, it is a personal finance imperative. I now want us to look at the silent leak, why dividends go unclaimed in Nigeria. Understanding why dividends remain unclaimed is the first step towards rectifying the situation. While the e-dividend mandate initiative that is ongoing has significantly improved the landscape, a cocktail of historical issues and contemporary challenges continues to contribute to this silent leak in investors' wealth. So look at some of these issues, why we have had these problems. I want us to look at the paper certificate legacy. So many of you or your parents or grandparents invested when paper certificates were the norm. As shares were bought, sold, or transferred, ensuring meticulous record keeping was a manual and often imperfect process. Now, closely associated to that is the fact that warrants were distributed for shareholders to then present them to their banks and then claim their dividends. Now, what used to happen then was that when dividend warrants were mailed, they get lost, often because of issues of changes in addresses that have not been reflected by the registrars because the registrars were not informed, postal inefficiencies, or sometimes the dividend warrants were simply misplaced. And then they had a validity of 6 months. So after 6 months, you have to revalidate the dividend warrants. There was also the worrisome case of dividend warrants being hijacked by criminal elements. So at the SEC, we dealt with so many of such cases, and I'm sure even our registrars, coronation registrars, will have stories to tell about those times. Then there's also the issue of dynamic lives and stagnant records. So your life is not static. You move, you change jobs, you update your bank accounts, you even change your name in the case of ladies who get married. If these crucial updates are not communicated promptly to your registrars, then dividend notifications or electronic payments cannot reach you. So this set it and forget it mentality, while appealing in investment philosophy, is detrimental to dividend collection. Then we have the other issue, the other challenge is the probate maze. So the death or the passing of a shareholder, while a difficult time, introduces a complex administrative hurdle. Without proper legal documentation, like letters of administration or probate, registrars cannot release funds to beneficiaries. The delays and perceived complexities of this process often lead to significant sums remaining unclaimed for years. Then we have the big challenge of multiple accounts. So imagine buying shares in the same company through different stockbrokers over the years. You might unknowingly end up with multiple distinct accounts for the same shares, making it difficult for registrars to consolidate your holdings and for you to even track your own entitlements. This same scenario applies to investors who acquire shares during public offerings using multiple identities, and then at the end are unable to consolidate their accounts after the offers. We have also the problem of BVN account mismatch. So while BVN has been a game changer, discrepancies between the name on your BVN and your shareholder registration or issues with bank account dormancy can still create payment roadblocks for e-dividend processing. Then we also have the issue of small sum syndrome. So sometimes individuals, shareholders, perceive that or feel that their dividends are small, and they then end up believing that it's not worth the effort. What the shareholders fail to realize is that when you put together these small amounts, they now become huge figures, huge sums. I can guarantee you that some of the issues, the unclaimed dividends issue we have, part of it is because a lot of people are leaving their dividends on the table because they feel that their amounts are too small. So is this issue of unclaimed dividends something that is restricted to Nigeria? Let's look at what is obtainable in other parts of the world. So I call it the quantum of the conundrum, global and local perspectives on unclaimed wealth. The challenge of unclaimed dividends is not a unique thing to Nigeria. It's a global phenomenon, though its scale and the mechanisms for managing it vary significantly. So what constitutes unclaimed dividend? Generally, across jurisdictions, unclaimed dividends refers to a dividend that a company has declared and attempted to pay, but which remains uncollected by the shareholder for a stipulated period. Now, this period varies from one country to the other. Then, after a certain period of inactivity, these funds are often transferred from the company in most jurisdictions to a government-managed fund or a central authority, making them available for claim by the investors at any time. So let's look at a global snapshot of unclaimed wealth across a few jurisdictions. While precise real-time internationally comparable figures are hard to consolidate due to different reporting standards and definitions, we can observe the scale of the problem across major markets. So in Nigeria, the quantum of unclaimed dividends as at the end of December 2024 was slightly above 200 billion. And in Nigeria, dividends are considered unclaimed after 6 months of declaration, and then they are returned to the paying companies 15 months based on SEC regulation. CAMA has a provision that after 12 years, the dividends become statute barred. However, there is an amendment to that. The Finance Act 2020 has amended that provision in CAMA. Then in the UK, you'll be surprised to hear this. In the UK, it has been estimated that unclaimed dividends, the quantum of unclaimed dividends is around £3 billion. Now, if you translate that to the Nigerian currency at, let's say, 500, I'm being conservative now, you're looking at 1.5 trillion. Australia, total unclaimed monies, this includes dividends, is about 2.3 Australian dollars. So we don't have the exact figure for dividends, but we're looking at the global figure for unclaimed monies. In India, dividends are considered unclaimed if not collected after 30 days of declaration. And if still unclaimed after 7 consecutive years, they are then transferred to a central fund managed by the government. In South Africa, the figure for unclaimed dividends is approximately 4.5 billion rand. But there are a lot of efforts there to trace the owners of the unclaimed dividends and identify them so that they can claim their dividends. So you can see that the sheer scale of these global figures underscores that the issue of unclaimed dividends is a universal one, largely driven by investor dormancy and data challenges. Let us now consider what are the solutions. So we have looked at the issues. So let's look at the solutions. I'll start with the registrar's digital bridge, empowering your access. At the heart of solving this global problem, and especially in Nigeria, stands your registrar. The registrar is no longer just administrator of paper records. Registrars like Coronation Registrars, our host today, and the organizers of this webinar have transformed into digital architects, building bridges to your wealth. They are the essential link between the company that declares your dividend and your bank account. Their role has become pivotal, particularly in navigating the digital mandates of our time. So what are the kind of things that they do? E-Dividend, Vanguard. Registrars are the primary implementers of the SEC's E-Dividend mandate. They facilitate the crucial linkage between your BVN and your shareholding records, ensuring that when dividends are declared, they land directly into your nominated bank account, eliminating the issue of lost warrants. Data custodians and cleanup crew. Registrars are the custodians of millions of shareholders' records. Their relentless efforts in data cleaning, identifying duplicate accounts, verifying shareholders' identities with BVN, and rectifying discrepancies are vital for successful payments. Account verifiers and consolidators. Registrars assist shareholders in resolving fragmented accounts, verifying ownership, and consolidating multiple holdings, thereby eliminating dormant accounts and simplifying dividend collection. Digital empowerment platforms. Most registrars have invested heavily in user-friendly digital tools, thereby empowering shareholders to access statements, track dividends, update personal information, and manage their investments remotely. And you got a taste of that just before I came on. You heard Mr. Wisdom take you through what Coronation is doing. So that's the kind of thing that registrars are doing. They have online portals. These are secure platforms where you can view your shareholdings, track dividend payments, initiate e-dividend registration, update your personal and bank details from anywhere at any time. They have mobile apps bringing share information and dividend tracking directly to your smartphone. They have dedicated customer service. They provide support to guide shareholders through the e-dividend process and resolving specific issues. Resolving complexities. For challenging cases such as deceased estates or shares held under multiple names, registrars provide structured guidance and forms to help you regularize ownership, ensuring that these long dormant assets can finally be claimed. Partnering for progress. Registrars collaborate closely with regulators, especially the Securities and Exchange Commission, the CSCS, that is the Central Securities Clearing System, stockbrokers, bankers, NIBs, to ensure seamless reconciliation of data and smooth electronic payment processes across the entire market ecosystem. Registrars are educators and advocates. Registrars work hand in hand with us, the regulators, and market stakeholders to drive investor education, ensuring widespread awareness of dividend rights and processes. In essence, their participants, registrars are the problem solvers, leveraging technology and expertise to connect you directly to your earnings. I want us to now move to look at best practices globally, looking at how global blueprints for unlocking your dividends. While Nigeria has made significant strides learning from global best practices, identifying a gold standard can illuminate the path to minimizing unclaimed dividends to an absolute minimum. So let's look at Nigeria's progress and ongoing efforts. Nigeria's e-dividend mandate is a powerful testament to our commitment. The continuous investor sensitizations driven by SEC, registrars, and the capital market trade groups are fostering a more informed investor base. Collaborative data reconciliation efforts between registrars and CSCS are crucial for tidying up legacy issues. I want us to look at some of the initiatives championed by SEC to address the issue of unclaimed dividends. So we had this initiative on forbearance. So the SEC granted forbearance to shareholders with multiple accounts to harmonize and consolidate their accounts. We gave that forbearance over a long period of time. Unfortunately, I am sad to report here that most investors with this problem of multiple accounts did not take advantage of this initiative. Then we implemented the e-dividend system. Through a partnership with the Central Bank of Nigeria, the Nigerian Interbank Settlement System, SEC was able to launch the e-dividend mandate management system in January 2016. The system is, the EDDMS is a portal that enables a seamless enrollment of shareholders, leveraging the robust KYC of the BVN system. This ensures payment of dividends directly into shareholders' bank accounts. I don't know if most of you are aware that you can access the EDMS self-service portal through SEC official website or the NIPS platform. You can then register or log in if you have registered, create a mandate, submit the mandate, and you can even track your dividends. Another initiative that we implemented through the registrars is what we call the Clearinghouse CHN Mapping and Extension of e-Dividend Mandate Initiative. This was launched in 2023. So the SEC, working with the registrars, directed the registrars to utilize CHN numbers issued by CSCS to map shareholders' records across registers maintained by them to identify shareholders having the same CHN number and address. We then asked the registrars to extend e-dividend mandate to even unmandated accounts of shareholders having at least the same name, CHN number, and address across registers. This was to apply whether the account was mandated via the e-dividend mandate system or data received from the CSCS after secondary market transactions. And a lot of shareholders benefited from this initiative. The SEC also has implemented investor clinics and awareness campaigns across the country. And we're still conducting these investor clinics. If you listen to the news, you will hear these clinics are taking place on a continuous basis. There are also investor protection measures that we have implemented. So SEC has strengthened its complaints management framework and established an investor protection fund to address grievances and restore investors' confidence. I'm happy to say that from 2015 to date, these initiatives have resulted to payment of unclaimed dividends to investors worth $29.2 billion. I want us to look at best practices across jurisdictions, starting with sub-Saharan Africa and then the world. So Kenya is one of those countries I want us to look at. So beyond the electronic settlement system, Kenya has explored innovative approaches. So some registrars and companies in Kenya have piloted mobile money integration through its Central Depository and Settlement Corporation for dividend payments, particularly for small amounts, leveraging high mobile penetration to reach investors who may be unbanked or underbanked. This has significantly enhanced accessibility. In South Africa, South Africa's market, underpinned by its advanced Central Securities Depository, that's STRAIT, boasts highly efficient and automated corporate action processing. The emphasis is on proactive shareholder communication and rigorous data hygiene. However, the gold standard is Australia. So Australia has a proactive approach to unclaimed monies generally. While no country has zero unclaimed dividends, Australia is often cited as a leading example for its comprehensive and highly effective system for managing all unclaimed money, including dividends. Their success stems from a few things that they have gotten right. So one of them is default direct credit and dematerialization. Australia operates a largely dematerialized market where electronic share ownership is the default. Dividends are almost universally paid by direct credit into nominated bank accounts. This eliminates the primary cost of unclaimed dividends, as we have said earlier on, the issue of lost warrants. Centralized unclaimed money database. The Australian Securities and Investment Commission operates a free, publicly accessible online database where individuals can easily search for unclaimed money held by the Commission, including dividends. This centralized portal simplifies the tracing process immensely. Proactive tracing. Unclaimed dividends are transferred to the Australian Securities and Investment Commission after a specified period of inactivity. The Commission then takes responsibility for holding and reuniting the money with its rightful owners without time limits. Industry-wide data matching. Australian registrars and companies engage in robust data matching exercises, often leveraging government databases, of course, with data privacy safeguards, to proactively identify and contact shareholders with potential unclaimed dividends before they become dormant. Strong regulatory framework. Clear legislative requirements mandate reporting and transfer of unclaimed funds, backed by a robust enforcement and ensuring compliance by financial institutions. So what are the key learnings for Nigeria? The common trait among successful jurisdictions is a blend of 1, full digitalization and automation, moving beyond e-dividend to fully seamless default electronic processes. Proactive data hygiene and tracing. This entails continuous cleanup of shareholder registers and actively seeking out lost shareholders. Centralized search portals. A single, easy-to-use platform for shareholders to check for all their unclaimed entitlements. Simplify procedures for account consolidation and probate resolution. Invest in accessible digital self-service platforms, just like we have seen today, as demonstrated by coronation registrars. Then, robust collaboration, a unified approach involving registrars, the regulators, banks, depositories, and other government agencies, and of course, investors. Then finally, continuous investor education. This is something that we'll continue to repeat. This is key. This is one of the key success factors, continuous investor education, empowering investors with the knowledge and tools to manage their investments. Now, my dear participants, let us look at your power, your wealth, a call to action for the modern investor. For the young working class investor, and I'm sure most of us on this call today belong to that class, who understands the power of digital tools and the pursuit of financial independence, the message is clear. Your unclaimed dividends are a direct challenge to your financial potential, but also an immediate opportunity. Do not let complexity deter you. The systems are evolving, as you have heard here and you have seen from what Coronation Registrars is doing and so many other registrars are doing. And the solutions are at your fingertips. Your investment journey should be a seamless and rewarding one for you. Here is your immediate call to action. Simple, actionable steps to reclaim your wealth and ensure future dividends unlock their full potential. So the first thing is, please embrace e-dividend today. This is not negotiable. If you haven't done so, access the EDMS self-service portal through the SEC official website or the NIPS platform and mandate your account. This is your gateway to automated dividend payments. Update your details always. Make it a habit. Any change in your name, address, phone number, or bank account must be communicated to your registrars promptly. Think of it like updating your social media profile. But the difference is this comes with real financial returns. Then for those who have multiple accounts, please consolidate your accounts. If you have multiple share accounts, ask your registrar to assist you in consolidating them. A unified portfolio is an organized portfolio, and an organized portfolio is a powerful portfolio. Leverage digital platforms. Explore the online portals and mobile apps provided by your registrars, just like Coronation Registrars has done today. They're designed for your convenience to track your holdings and claim your entitlements. Then be an advocate. Share this knowledge. You are here today. You have been empowered with knowledge. Please share this knowledge. Talk to your friends, family, and colleagues about unclaimed dividends. Help them to check for their entitlements. Your financial literacy can empower someone else. Seek professional guidance. If you have a case that is complex, for instance, if you inherited shares or you have very old holdings, do not hesitate to reach out to your registrar or a trusted top broker for professional advice. Finally, the vision for the Nigerian capital market is one where every investor is fully connected to their wealth, where efficiency reigns, and where trust is absolute. The issue of unclaimed dividends is a tangible barrier to this vision, but it is a solvable one. With the continued dedication of registrars like Coronation Registrars Limited, the proactive guidance from the Securities and Exchange Commission, especially under the able leadership of the current DG, Dr. Timi Agama, and his wonderful team of executive commissioners and the board members, your empowered action. We can transform this challenge into a triumph of financial inclusion and investor confidence. Thank you for your commitment and trust in Nigeria's capital market. Together, let us unlock the full potential of your dividends and deepen the foundations of wealth creation for all Nigerians. Let us ensure that wealth generated by Nigeria's corporates truly flows to the rightful owners. Claim it, own it, and grow it. Thank you for your attention, and I wish you a prosperous investment journey. And thank you to Coronation Registrars for this webinar and our amiable host, Chiamaka. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Makiel. That's a masterclass in minutes. Thank you for that wonderful presentation. Claim it, own it, and grow it. Thank you to SC's, to SEC for your support, in driving the reduction of unclaimed dividends in the Nigerian capital market. Esteemed participants and viewers from home, you have heard it. The power is in your hands. Embrace e-dividend, update your details, consolidate your accounts, use digital platforms, be an advocate, and seek guidance. Thank you very much. We are going to be going straight into the panel discussion. And I'm looking at the chat. I can see a lot of interest in the Shareholder Life by Coronation. I can see questions on how to log on, how to onboard. Please note that our team are online and they are responding to you. Even if you can't respond for the duration of this webinar, be assured that our contact center, our 24-hour contact center team will reach out to you and ensure that you are onboarded seamlessly. Thank you very much, all our panelists. and our keynote presenter. Yeah, are we ready for the poll? Before we go into the panel discussion, we want to take a poll. Can we have it up quickly? Yeah, so at Coronation, we are all about continuous improvement. We are all about improving the customer experience. We want to know what you want, how you want to be served, so that we can design our processes and our product to align with your expectation. So you can see the pop-up on your screen around dividend reinvestments and share purchase. Please answer those questions quickly, and then we continue with the presentation. So I have the honor to introduce the panelists for today's webinar. We already know Mr. Tafa Makiel, the head monitoring department of the Securities and Exchange Commission. Joining him will be Mrs. Folusho Adedeji. She is the head Retail Operations South Access Bank PLC. And also we have another veteran in the industry, Ms. Ife Ejezie. She is the managing director of Cardville Investment and Securities Limited. And she also doubles as the second vice chairman of Association of Securities Dealing Houses of Nigeria, ASHON. And we also have from the shareholders community, Mr. Adebayo Adeleke. He is the former General Secretary of the Independent Shareholders Association of Nigeria, ISON. We can see on our screen their profiles, the profiles of our panelists. Yeah, so we're going to dive straight into the panel discussions. And I'm going to be starting with Mr. Adeleke. Listening to the keynote address by Mr. Makiel, it's very clear that there are stakeholders to claiming dividends in Nigeria. And the first on that list are the shareholders themselves, the investors. You know, you have invested your money, you deserve your returns. And we can see that there are things that you need to do to claim your dividends. So we're going to be asking Mr. Adeleke, as a member of the investors community, what role do the shareholders play in claiming their dividends? Thank you.
Thank you, Chiamaka. Let me also commend Coronation for putting this platform together. And let me also commend Tafa for a job well done. I felt by the time he finished the presentation, we should just ask for closing prayer. I think he did a very fantastic job. Having said that, I think the reason why anybody would invest is because they have an expectation of certain returns on their investment at the end of the day. Periodically, now that we have some companies paying interim dividends, final dividends, for as long as the business is profitable and they make profit at the end of the year, they distribute this profit. So shareholders have the duty, the obligation, and it's also in their enlightened self-interest to make sure that they assess their dividends because it's actually their expectation. It's the main reason why they have invested. So the issue now is about the hindrances or those bottlenecks that prevent shareholders from assessing the fruit of their labor, and then certain regulatory framework that are still making this a little bit impracticable, especially in line with modern development. So I think that is why we're here to address some of those issues. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Adeleke, for your answers. You know, the investors have a responsibility to ensure they claim their dividends, and where they are not clear about the process, they should seek guidance. And we have intermediaries in the capital market to provide this guidance. So my next question will go to Madam Ife. Madam Ife represents the stockbrokers community, and they are a strong key players in the capital market. They act as intermediaries between the investors and other capital market players, including the registrars. So talking about guiding shareholders on the right thing to do, what are the roles of stockbrokers in facilitating the payment of unclaimed dividends to investors? Ife, thank you. You're muted. We can't hear you. Can you unmute?
Yes, please. Thank you very much, Chiamaka, for this question. And thanks to Coronation Registrars once again for putting this together, because this is what we advocate for: continuous education to shareholders and investment public to enable them know what they need to do to assess their dividends. For Tafa, the keynote speaker, he has done, in fact, he has simplified the job for all of us. He said it all. But that notwithstanding, our job as stockbrokers is intermediary, like you said. It's our job to bring together the investors to the registrars, to the regulators and all that, and to help them update their data. You know, most times it's education which we give to them. Most investors lack education. Most of them are not computer literate. Most of them don't read. They don't go to the websites, even when SEC has simplified the job by providing so many portals that they can use to track their dividends, track their investments, and even see their shareholdings of even people, family members that have been lost in the past. But they can't know it because most of them are not computer literate. And for those that will even access it, filling out the forms, forwarding to the registrars and all that to complete the process becomes a problem. And that is where the stockbroker comes in. So we want to ask them that when you have this difficulty, it's our job as intermediaries, we relate with the registrars to update your records, to make sure that those with multiple accounts, those with accounts that are not updated, no details, some don't even have their banking details submitted to the registrars. So we help them to guide them accordingly, collect these informations, and relate with the regulators, relate with the registrars to make sure that they are in a position to receive their dividends. And that comes also with use of technology. I want to appreciate the fact that in technology use, we have grown so much. Like what we are doing now, education is through technology. Without technology, we won't be doing this today. This is through Zoom. It's technology. So it's helping us to reach out to these investors. And I do believe that a lot of them are listening in to know that the first port of call, if you don't go to SEC website and you think you can't access it, track a stockbroker down. Get to a stockbroking house. We'll help you to update your data. We'll give you the education, the right education they need to know what to do. And we go a step further by helping them to actualize it. We relate, we take the documents to the registrars, make sure that they are properly filled, and also help them retract even unclaimed dividends that have fluctuated for so many years. We help them track it down and make sure they get it. So that is our role. And I think the role of a stockbroker is a major role in facilitating the the use of unclaimed dividends, or in helping investors get to their unclaimed dividends and receive it accordingly. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that answer, expressing the commitment of the stockbrokers community to reducing unclaimed dividends in the Nigerian capital market. Dear investors, the stockbrokers are at your service. Are you looking for a stockbroker? Please visit the SEC website. You will see the list of licensed stockbrokers. You can choose anyone you want to do business with. And as Ife has said, they are available to guide you on what to do. And this is also a call to stockbrokers to ensure that you guide your clients appropriately on how to fill the forms, submit the relevant documentation, because that is what the registrars need to make payment. Thank you very much for that. Moving on, we are going to, the next question we go to Mrs. Folusho Adedeji, talking about the bank. You know, everything about unclaimed dividends payments, you know, it has to be paid into a bank account. So banks play a key role in facilitating dividend payments. And looking at the chart, there's a question around why will registrars, hold dividends for more than 3 years or longer than dividend payment date. So we need to understand how this works. That's when companies declare dividends, that is what we call bulk payments. And sometimes when these bulk payments are made, many of them fails. And because it fails, it becomes unclaimed. And then we keep looking for ways to get it into the shareholders' position. So, Madam Folusho Adedeji, what are the most common banking-related reasons for failed dividend payments? Thank you.
Thank you, Chiamaka, and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to be in the midst of these esteemed panelists and the keynote speaker. And thank you, Coronation Security, for this great event. I'm sure that we're all learning from it, even including myself. So there are different reasons why you can have unclaimed dividends. So when investors, buy the shares, either on the floor or through IPO or through their stockbrokers, if the bank details that you put on the form is different from what we have in the bank, so you have a name mismatch between the investor's bank account and the shareholding record, it can cause unclaimed, because the dividend cannot be paid into an account that has discrepancy between the name that we have in the bank and what the Securities and Exchange Commissions have, or the registrars have, or the stockbrokers have. So that name has to be amended and corrected to reflect the correct name. So the first name must be the same, the middle name must be the same that you have on the BVN. It must correspond. And so there are some times where you have dormant or restricted account. So if you have dormant account or your account is restricted, we cannot apply the dividend into those accounts because it's going to automatically reject it. The system will automatically reject it. There are times that you have closed account, especially if the investor switch banks. So if you move from bank A to bank B, you close your account in this bank and you have moved to another bank without informing the registrar or your stockbroker to help you update it on your record. It's going to bounce back because there's no way we can credit a closed account. Then if you have invalid bank details, such as wrong account number that you have put instead of, so you are either transposing it, instead of putting 5, you're putting 3, there's no way the dividend will be credited to your account. So all such wrong accounts, then either on leaked BVN has to be corrected before you can have your dividend credited into your account. So it would be nice to go to the registrar, ensure that you report to them that you have unclaimed dividend and make the necessary corrections to your details there. Then they will retransmit it to the bank and then we can upload it for you into your account.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Folusho Adedeji. Investors, I believe she's very clear, and I believe by now you are seeing why your dividend may still be unclaimed. So you have a different name on your bank account and you have a different name on your shares account. It's a system-driven process, and the system recognizes what is written down. And so when you have two different names, the system sees it as two different individuals, and it's unable to process. Please go and ensure that you have the same name on your bank account and on your shares account. And if you have changed your name for whatever reason, by marriage or for whatever reason, there is a process for you to change your name with the registrars. Please get the change of name form, complete it, and your name, the name that you'd like to be called will be reflected. And for dormant accounts, money does not get into dormant account. You need to go reactivate your account. And Mrs. Adedeji has said it. You need to go reactivate your account. You need to go, your account is closed. You need to give the registrars another active bank account. And then maybe at the point of entry, instead of 5, you wrote 6. That is a different account, and money may not go into such account. It may even go into a different customer's account. So please ensure that your details are correct and updated with the registrars. And you can do that from the comfort of your home. You don't need to come to the registrar's office, just call the contact center. Please, I'd like to confirm that my details with you are correct. These and these are my details, and you will get your confirmation. You can also send emails, and that will be done. Thank you so much, Mrs. Adedeji, for that question. Back to Mr. Adeleke for the shareholders community. So as a member of Shareholders Association, what are the associations doing to help improve investor education and awareness, especially in underserved communities, not just in Lagos? I'm sure you have members across the nation, those that are in far places. How do you ensure that they are aware of what they are supposed to do? Mr. Adeleke, thank you.
Thank you very much, Amaka. Well, if there's anything at all that the shareholder associations are doing, I think the first item on our agenda is investor education. All we do is to enlighten people about the capital market. And like I said in my opening remark, the main reason why you are coming to the capital market is to also make more money on your investments. And so we naturally continue to educate our members on things pertaining to dividends and how to claim their dividend. Some of the time we actually help them in those days of paper dividend. At times we make up a list, a very long list of our members who have a particular company stock and take it physically to the registrar. We call it extraction in those days, just to make sure that our members get access to their dividends. But things have changed. Now we are leveraging on technology. And before I forget, let me say this. We are investing a lot of technology, registrar, broker, everybody is investing a lot of technology. But the truth remains that practically 70% or thereabout of the retail shareholders are not tech savvy. That's the truth we cannot also run away from. 70% of our investors, the retail investors, are not tech savvy. And when you talk about unclaimed dividends, 95 to 97% of unclaimed dividends belong to retail shareholders. The core investor, the strategic investors, the institutional investors don't have unclaimed dividends. And if they do, probably they constitute between 3 and 5%. And so the bulk is actually on our side, talking about the retail investor. And so we continue to enlighten. At times, we also even use our own goodwill to take people's problem to some of our friends, what work and bear me witness on this, to say, look, we've got this man has this issue. Because not most of them even know how to go about it. So we continue to get calls, we continue to get people asking you to just help me, when you have a just help me to do this. And then you have to leverage on relationship most of the time to get them solved. Now, my association, Independent Shareholders Association, is the biggest retail shareholders association in Africa south of the Sahara. And that is the truth. And we have members, we have a branch in UK, we have a branch in US, in Maryland, in US. And so even for those of our colleagues who are in the diaspora, we have always leveraged our relationship to help them to sort out issues concerning unclaimed dividends. But education is number one. Collaboration is number two. And the willingness of all the parties involved to keep solving this problem if and when they arise is also extremely very key. And so we need to continue to educate, not only from the shareholders' perspective, but we need to continue to engage with the registrar to provide a platform for them. Our people meet once every month, and that is a very good number to reach out to. That if and when there are new products that can simplify the process, we offer them the platform. Can you just come and educate and enlighten our members? We need to take these things to the people that are actually consuming these services. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Adeleke. We are happy to know that the Shareholders Association are doing so much to ensure investor education, financial literacy among its members, and talking about being computer literate and knowing that a large proportion of the retail shareholders, may not be tech savvy. And it's also good to know that you are carrying this segment of the market along. And as registrars, in addition to the digital platforms, we also have the brick and mortar. Like as we speak right now, we have shareholders coming into our office and they are being attended to. So we have all these platforms to ensure that we reach out to everyone in the market. Thank you very much. Okay, so we move on to the stockbrokers and what they are doing to ensure that we continue to reduce unclaimed dividends in the market. We have talked about multiple accounts. So Madam Ife, what practical steps can investors take to consolidate their shareholding to ensure seamless dividend payments? Thank you. Hello, Madam Ife, can you hear us? Talking about account consolidation. What practical? Please. All right, thank you.
Yes, there's a lot of things that lead to unclaimed dividends. One is inadequate investor information. Most times investors don't even know how or where to go to update their records. And this leads to undelivered dividend notices. We have a lot of things like marital issues. People change their names from maiden to marriage, and they don't know that they have to go back to their stockbroker to effect that change. So they have maiden name in one account, and they open another account, start investing in their marital names. All these are major reasons why we have multiple and fragmented accounts. You have minors. Some people buy shares in the name of their children with the mind that they will transfer these shares to their children when they grow up. At times, the parents die along the line without even letting the children know that they have these shares. So the shares remain in the children's name, their maiden name. Those children grow up, get married, and even start investing again in their own married names without knowing that they have shares already existing in their maiden names because their parents did not tell them so. So it's also very important that investors will learn how to disseminate information to their family when they invest in shares, to know either they write a will, but most times when you tell investors to put down a will, they think they want to die the next minute. So they avoid it. So let them find a way of letting family know that they have these investments which can be assessed, or put down a nest of kin in their KYC documents with the company, so that in case they die, the office will now use that nest of kin to reach out to the family to let them know that their deceased family member have so investments in place. So all these are one of the reasons. And investor apathy has also gone a long way. There was a time when there was a tsunami in this market, 2006 to 2009. We all suffered it. That put a kind of apathy in the mind of investors. Nobody wants to hear about shares. Some abandoned even the shares they had before then, because to them it is now worthless. Not even trying to find out that the market has moved on and improved a lot, and they need to come back and even revisit and update their records of those shares which they have. And all that lead to multiplicity of accounts in the system. So what can we do to consolidate this shareholding? They can visit their stockbroker. There's a lot the investors don't know. There's some, even the BVN issue. We find out through practice that people don't even know how to arrange their names. They will put Rita Ife Ejezie, and in another, in their BVN, in opening account with a stockbroker, they will just put Ife Ejezie or put Rita first. That already has made it impossible for the BVN to align with your account. And these are the issues we have. So with that, their details will not be uploaded to the registrars because it's not even accepted by CSS to open an account or to update their holdings. Some dead accounts, want to update it, you first start by going to update BVN with the banks to make the name align with the name they have in the system. All these at times, people see it as very clumsy and they end up leaving those accounts. They think the solution is to just open a new account and start afresh. Then what happens to the account that already exists? I was talking to somebody last week and he said, gift. He wanted to give a friend shares as a gift. He bought the shares with his name and the friend's surname. How do you begin to relate that? He's bearing his name and the friend's surname, and he has bought the shares and given it to the friend. Now the friend cannot access the shares because the BVN will not match. He cannot verify it into the system because nothing can be done. So these are the issues. And most times they have these issues, they don't even know what to do. So the only way we can help these investors to consolidate is let them visit a stockbroker. We are investment advisors, we guide them accordingly, and we begin to tell them what to do to be able to get through these problems they have. There's banking issues. Most of them lack knowledge. They don't even know when dividends are being declared. So if they don't update their accounts in the system and fill out the e-dividend platform, like I had when Tafa was speaking, the new initiatives where the registrar will take the CHN to match all investments in the system and let the dividend go if the investor had put in an account in the first place. But we all know that most of the accounts that have this e-dividend issue and unclaimed issue are accounts, legacy accounts that were opened in those days when we don't used to have BVN, we don't used to have NIN, there's nothing linking each other. So people now find it very difficult now to come back to fill out the forms. Some are dead and even forgotten. Their families don't even know about it. And there are political issues too. Some are politicians. They don't want to anybody to know what they have. And now they know that all eyes are in their bank accounts. So if they have bought huge shares in the past and processing this unclaimed dividend will enable that money hit their account. And that will bring question as to how did they make this money or what and what. They would rather let it lie. And a lot of it with huge amounts are being lying down without anybody coming to lay claims to them. Not because they don't know about it, but they would rather not do anything about it. Then we have diseased investors who have their heirs don't even know they have shares to claim. Some of them are even suffering, not knowing that their fathers have kept a good legacy for them, but he did not tell them, and nothing was written down to that process. So the thing or the biggest thing we can do to help them is to let them visit their stockbroker. If they don't visit a stockbroker and seek help, seek guidance, we will not be able to help them. That is the essence of this investor education, so that they will get to know what they can do, how they can go about it, and what the stockbroker can do to help them. And we're also advising them what we can do too is education by letting them know that they can leave a will or find a way to inform their relatives. Those are the practical steps a stockbroker can take. And then we go all out to also educate them on our way. The way you have been doing, all capital market forums should actually be doing it. Create an avenue, talk to people, create lecture scenes and talk to people as many times as possible through different means and through different forums to let them know what they have, what they should do, and how they can go about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. If we practical steps, indeed. You know, we did say that we're not just going to be discussing problems here, we're going to be addressing them. And if he has done just that. So viewers and listeners, if you fall into any of this category, you already heard what to do. Please go right and take action. Yeah, we'll move to Mr. Tafa Makel from SEC. You know, from all our discussions, you know, there are issues around awareness, there are issues around process complexity. In your opinion, is awareness or process complexity the greatest challenge in addressing unclaimed dividends? Mr. Michael.
Yeah, thank you, amiable host Chamaka.
Thank you. You're welcome. Okay, there seems to be a network glitch. We can't hear you, Mr. Makia. Okay, so while
my
we
other
try
panelists who have been fine.
great.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now.
So
Go ahead.
awareness is a major, yes. So I was saying that awareness is a major challenge. And you have heard from the panelists, each one of them touched on the fact that a lot of the investors are not aware of what they need to do. Some, for whatever reasons. So awareness is key. Process complexity, we have discussed here, you yourselves as registrars, you have already taken action on simplifying the process. So we are continuously simplifying this process. But no matter how much we simplify the process, if the investor is not aware, they will not take advantage of the simplified process. Their benefits, their wealth will remain unclaimed. So whichever way you look at it, investor awareness is key. And as a matter of fact, I just want to jump here and say something about what Mr. Adeleke had said. It is true that we have a good number of investors that are not tech savvy. However, so we have, just to say this, that we are working on a project at the SEC now. What we're trying to do is, and we're getting this information from the registrars. Perhaps when we are done, we might make that information available. One, we've been asking registrars to give us the spread of those who have unclaimed dividends in terms of amounts. And so far, what we have seen will surprise you. We thought that what you will see is a lot of small sums. Instead, what we're seeing is that we're seeing a reasonable number of investors with huge amounts of unclaimed dividends that are lying there, unclaimed. And it will surprise you. So what we did in one or two cases of one of the companies at the SEC, when we got the list from the registrars, we picked out some prominent individuals and called them. So we found out that, interestingly, there are capital market operators who have unclaimed dividends. Some of them are not even aware. I mean, if I tell you some of the stories, it will blow your mind. So the issue of awareness, so even for the enlightened shareholders, surprisingly, sometimes you call someone and he's not aware that he has a 30 million lying down somewhere. This is unclaimed deal. We're not talking about his investments or her investments. So we have had to assist the registrars by engaging them. So I think investor awareness is a major problem. Whatever we do, if we're not able to get the investors to know what is happening, we will not succeed.
Awareness. Thank you very much, Mr. McHill, for that answer. So we need to keep talking. We need to keep creating awareness. And at Coronation Registrars, we are positioned to do that. We'll keep working with all market players, moving from place to place, not just online, to ensure that people know what to do. Now, moving on to Mrs. Folusho Adedeji for the bank, and talking about awareness. So sometimes when dividends are paid, they fail. And the reason we see is that accounts are on PND, there is lien on the account and all that. So as a bank, when lien or PND are placed on customers' accounts, maybe by external parties' instruction, how does the bank ensure that their customers are aware of the activity on their account? Mrs. Adedeji, please.
Okay, thank you, Chiamaka. So when you have lien placed on your account, there might be different reasons why the lien is placed. So if it's placed by, let's say, external parties or regulators like EFCC, CBN, or for the reason from court, maybe you have a dispute as regards maybe fraud, whatever dispute it is, there are different reasons and there are different ways you can treat it. So if you have a PND placed on the account at the instruction of external party, that is CBN, EFCC, and all those things, you are obligated to act on it immediately. So you cannot say, I want to call Chiamaka before I place the lien on it. You have to place the lien on the account first before you now reach out to the customer if it is permitted under regulation for you to do it. Because if it is from EFCC or court order, they might not allow you to disclose why it is placed on lien or what has happened. The customer would be reached out to through the relationship team to say that there's a challenge on your account, but the reason for it, you may not be told, but it will be, they would inform you that you have to reach out to the law enforcement agents to clear whatever you have issues you have with them. When you clear those issues, you can now come back and they would leave the lien if they are given the permission from the law enforcement agent who have given them that the directive to go ahead in the first instance. But if you have lien placed on your account, maybe based on documentation issue, the bank will reach out to you to say you have 1, 2, 3, 4 issues on your account. Come and regularize it so that those lien can be lifted from the account and you can have free access to your account. So the branch is there to support you and ensure that you have free access to your account. So if it is not regulatory, if the plan placed on your account is not as a result of regulation, we will reach out to you proactively. We can reach out to you via the SMS platform, via email, and then sometimes when you try to log on to your online portal, you will see the message there. There's an issue on your account needs urgent attention, and then you quickly get in touch with your relationship team to ensure that that is corrected so that you can have free access to it. But normally, a bank will not place your account on lien if there are no issues. So what we are doing is to partner with the stock exchange, SEC, registrar, and co to ensure that you don't have issue with your account, and then we reach out to you proactively to solve any issue that you have on your account. Thank you.
We are to know that investors are kept in the dark, when activities take place on their accounts that may stop them from receiving their dividends. Thank you very much. Moving on to the shareholders community represented by Mr. Adebayo Adeleke. Yes, so on this webinar today, you have the bank representatives, the stockbrokers, and of course the registrars. What specific expectations do shareholders have from the stockbrokers, registrars, banks, and regulators in resolving the issue of unclaimed dividends in Nigeria? As we round up, please address us one by one. What are the specific expectations shareholders have from each of us as key stakeholders to this process? Mr. Deleke, please. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Chiamaka. Well, number one, let me go to our regulator, SEC. I think SEC also has to join us in education. And I believe it is easier to work through organized group than to want to reach out to individuals. Come to think of it, all of our transactions on the floor of the stock exchange, we pay some nominal fees to SEC. So if we fund them, they should also be able to spend some money on investors. And we are willing to collaborate with SEC to provide that platform for them to reach to the retail shareholders across the entire length and breadth of this country towards enlightenment and towards solving this problem. Number two, why do registrars return money after 15 months to the company? We have argued some of these things and it appears nobody's listening. The money, once it is paid, does not belong to the company. If an investor wakes up any day, the only place he goes to collect his money is not the company. No investor goes back to the company. He goes to the registrar. oh, I have this unclaimed dividend. Well, doesn't matter if the law says 12 years statute bar, or maybe it has been removed now. You go to the registrar any day you wake up and you find out that you have unclaimed dividend. If that money has been moved back to the company, I don't understand that arrangement. It's a liability to the company. They've paid it out. There's no reason for them to withdraw it again. Then, saying something a little bit more, we need to know when the rain started beating us. Part of the problem part of what brought the problem of unclaimed dividend was this issue of even dividend warrants being stale after 6 months because they were treated like bank checks. And we are wondering even then, why should a dividend warrant become stale when it is not statute bar for 12 years? So it's like having a gatekeeper along the way. And this is only peculiar to Nigeria. Even in Ghana, dividend warrants don't have validity date. Any day you collect your warrant, let it be 3 years, let it be 5 years, you go straight and put it in your account. So if we want to solve problem, we should not, in an attempt to solve one, be creating another. The only person that the shareholder knows to go and collect his money from any day he wakes up is the registrar. So why move the money to the company? What is the level of accountability from the company? Can all shareholders actually go to one company? Do they have the mechanism to cope with shareholders and all that stuff? So I think we need to talk about that, and let us see how SEC, in having serious interaction and dialogue with organized shareholder groupings, can solve this problem and solve it very well. For the registrars, we have a long way to go. We need to train our staff. This is the expectation of retail shareholders from the registrar. Number one, let me cite an example. I was at Eco Hotels last week for the AGM of a bank. And a retail shareholder was telling the registrar, the lady that was representing the registrar, at the accreditation point, "Madam, what is your name?" And the lady said, "This is my name." The lady, in pronouncing the name back, was pronouncing an entirely different name. So if the person that wants to key in the figures or the letters into the system to verify the identity of the shareholder is pronouncing an entirely different name, it wasn't funny, because at the end of the day, it became a scene and everybody started laughing. The shareholder mentioned her name more than 7 times, but the lady registrar kept on repeating another name. So it was something else. The same thing with them when they impute records, because this is where some of the mistakes are also made. My wife's name is Olubosede. She has been writing her name from God knows when. Now she bought a share, we got a dividend because of the address, and the name has suddenly turned to Olubosede. A G has suddenly been infused in her name. So definitely somebody in trying to key in the name put a G, and that automatically disqualified that dividend from being paid into the bank account, because Olubosede is not the same thing as Olubosede. So we should also train our staff to probably learn how to read handwriting, because when you fill forms in capital letter T can look very similar to letter Y, depending on who is writing. Letter L can look similar to letter I, depending on who is writing. And a small error at that point of capture, we have this backlash of unclaimed dividend and what have you. So we need a lot of education. For the registrar, we also need to train people on emotional intelligence. Because when people approach some of the registrar for complaints, the attitude of our staff may make them to vow not to go back. You know, how much am I actually looking for? So they need to have a very large dose of patience in dealing with a lot of people, especially those people who are getting a little bit old or advanced in age. So education, collaboration, enlightenment, these are still the key issues that we're supposed to. We cannot eliminate the problem of unclaimed dividend. I can say with all certainty that that is impossible. I mean, given all the array of the reasons why unclaimed dividend exists that we have enumerated. Some, I can make bold to say, were created by us, the minority shareholders, because we actually bought shares via proxy. We bought shares for people who are not aware that they have shares. And then we also bought shares for proxies, for people that we mobilize to come and vote at elections, who you may not see again for the rest of their lives, who are not even aware that they have shares. So you
Exactly.
cannot eliminate.
Mr. Debeke, yes, I will have to come in here because you have said some very important things that we need to quickly, address. You've said something about statute barred dividend. I would really like Mr. Makia to quickly respond to this, for the benefit of our listeners. And we can see many chat questions. I believe some of these answers are already answering many of these questions, and our team online are also responding to your questions. Like I said, even if you don't get answers during the duration of this webinar, please be assured that we'll reach out to you, to provide answers to your questions. So quickly, Mr. Markel, what are the exact regulatory requirements for statute-barred dividends? Can the investors still access their unclaimed dividends after 12 years?
Yeah, so I'll respond to that. But before then, I'll just like to comment on something that Mr. Adeleke said. He was talking about the issue of unclaimed dividends being returned to companies after 15 months. That was done we're trying to look at solutions when the quantum of unclaimed dividends started growing. And at some point, we wanted to see if it was because registrars had an incentive to want to hold on to the dividends, unclaimed dividends. So we now decided at SEC to say, okay, let's take the dividends away from them. Let's take it back to the paying companies. But the caveat being that 10% will always be held by the registrars for payment of claims by investors anytime they come up. And once the 10% is exhausted, they go back. So as long as dividends remain within 12 years by CAMA, whether they are with the registrar or they're with the company, the investor can claim those dividends. So if dividends are returned back to the company after 15 months, the investor is not to go to the company. He will go to his registrars, and they will always get monies from the company. Now that links and leads me to the question, the issue of statute-barred dividend. Like I said in the course of my keynote address, I talked about the CAMA provision and what the Finance Act 2020 has provided. I would say that a final directive on this issue will soon be issued by the SEC. So I wouldn't want to preempt what the SEC will do, but we're looking at what the law says. But CAMA is a law of the National Assembly. The Finance Act is the law of the National Assembly, and we are law-abiding. We implement the law. So you will see here from the SEC on the issue of statute-barred dividends.
Thank you very much, Mr. Markel. Before we take the final words from each of our panelists, let's quickly go to the comments session and try to answer one or two questions that have not been addressed. I believe a lot has already been addressed based on the questions and answers session with the panelists. Okay, this is Okwemi Oyekomi. Thank you for dropping these questions. He said, please, I need all the information on unclaimed dividends and how to process a reclaim. Please reach out to us, to our contact center. We are 24/7 available, customer care@coronationregistrars.com. We would respond to you And we also have another question from Gabriel Odogu. Good move in this direction, but the 1,000 per annum could have been waived to encourage small shareholders like me. You can be sure that we have you in mind, and the Shareholder Life platform is just a convenient way for you to manage your portfolio from anywhere. We still have our brick and mortar. You can still visit our office. You can still use other means, to get what you want. But with this on your palms, anywhere on the go, paying a premium just helps us to continue to provide that service. We can see a comment from Paul Odugbeson. Okay, this is still speaking to Shareholder Life application. Is it only for use of coronation registrars? Other registrars have similar application? Yes. So other registrars also have similar application, but beyond the registers that are managed by coronation registrars, the Shareholder Life platform is an industry infrastructure. So a lot of services are going to come on that platform, and we are also going to be collaborating with different players to ensure that in the near future, even if you don't have shares in the register that we manage, if you're on Shareholder Life, you can also access information on other shares that you own that is outside the one that we manage. Okay, we have Rashid Oyetoro. Is it possible to buy and sell shares as individual without going through the stockbrokers? I'll leave Madam Ife to answer this question. Is it possible to buy and sell shares as individual without going through the stockbrokers? Ife, please.
Thank you very much, Amaka, for this. It is not possible. You have to go through the stockbrokers. Even if you want to be trading by yourself, you have to get that access to trade through a stockbroking firm who will give you the link to the portal, to the engine, trading engine, to be able to trade. If you're not a practicing stockbroker and you have not passed through the training with CIS and qualified as a chartered stockbroker, you are not going to have access on your own to the stock exchange engine. So you must pass through a stockbroker, even if you want to be trading for yourself. Thank you.
Exactly. You must pass through a stockbroker to trade. And it's important that you start trading. You don't need to just wait for dividends. You can start trading and start making money on your investment. And we're going to put up a poll right now. Are we ready? On dematerialization. How to start trading on the floor of the exchange. You need to do what we call dematerialization. There's a pop-up on your screen. Just answer the questions. It helps us to know the services that we require, and we'll reach out to you. Still answering, we have a few minutes to go on this program. Still answering questions on the comments. Thank you for dropping these questions. It shows your commitment to your investment, and we are equally committed to ensuring that you receive all the support that you need. This is from Chedrak Obarogui. Sincerely appreciating the opportunity. The request is to confirm the possibility of getting the video link to access the full video of the webinar activities, as some of us have audit-related activities clashing with the webinar. Very well. The replay of this session will be on our YouTube page. Please visit and listen and take all the learnings once again. This question is from, another question is from Daniel Ndiogu. I have shares with FCMB and Fidelity Bank and nothing from the two since. Please, can you help me to give me their registrars, please? Yes, we can. Reach out to us, customercare@coronationregistrars.com, or more easily, just go onto the website and type who are the registrars to FCMB and Fidelity. The answers will pop up, and then you can reach out to the registrar. We still have more questions. We'll just try to take one or two before we round up. We have Yahaya Bello. How can I claim my dividend that I invested into Bank PHB in 2008? A lot of banks have evolved over the years, but your shares are not lost. They still have registrars. Please reach out to us, customercare@coronationregistrars.com. We'll guide you accordingly. Okay, this question is directed to the regulator. Yes. What is SEC doing? And let's see if it has been answered. What is SEC doing as regards delayed paid dividends to shareholders? a situation whereby dividends are paid after, okay, I think we have answered this, and we have also explained why dividends may fail on the day the dividend was originally paid, and we have also explained, how you can claim your dividends. On a final note, each panelist, okay, I'll come to you, Mr. Deleke.
Oh,
Because of
that question, we have not taken that question because I think you need to read it. I think you need to read it properly.
Okay, let me read it. Let me read it again. I'm trying to get back. I think I've moved past that question. Let me see where it is. Okay, but essentially I've moved past it, but the shareholder is asking why after 3 years the dividend has not still been paid. Okay, I've seen it. Is an anonymous attendee. What is SEC doing as regards delayed paid dividends to shareholders? A situation whereby dividends are paid after 3 years of declaration. In this era of inflation, my suggestion is that registrars should be mandated to pay interest on the dividends, since they too collect interest from the banks where the dividends are kept. Okay, thank you very much, anonymous attendee, for this question. In few seconds, Mr. Makio, do you want to attempt to speak to this? Thank you.
I would say that, we had earlier talked about instances where dividends have been paid and then there's an issue. That matter has been discussed. Now, because the person asking the question didn't give specific details, because it will be surprising that dividends have been declared and 3 years down the line, the investors have not collected the dividend. There has to be some issue. So what I can say is that from the point of view of the SEC, we have done a number of things. We have put down regulation and we have pursued companies to ensure that if you declare dividends, you must release the dividends to the registrars for them to pay. We have timelines, and we are going after companies that declare dividends and fail to release those dividends on time to registrars for onward payment to investors. We are looking at that. We will take action on that part. But this specific issue of 3 years has to be something that has to do with this particular person, because it's unusual to have that kind of, it might be something to do with their records, which is what we have discussed here.
Sorry, Chairman. Maybe
thank you.
Mr.
Okay, so we have a CEO here, Mr. Seyi Owoturo, who is also the chairman of Institute of Capital Markets Registrars, and who would like to respond. Please go ahead, sir.
So I think this question may be related to the fact that registrars are doing CHM mapping. So, for example, my wife got some dividends from one of the registrars just 2 months ago, and these dividends date back to several years. Obviously, when they did CHM mapping, they mapped her account to where she had a mandate, and then she got, because she was shocked to receive all of those dividends. So it's a result of the CHM mapping, where you have an account with a registrar that is mandated. You have a different stock that you then buy, but it's not mandated. But because registrars are now doing CHM mapping, they're able to extend the mandate to the accounts where you don't have the mandate, and then you get. So it's possible that this investor got dividends from years back after the registrar in question had done a dividend mapping. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Owoturo. So investors, be assured that the regulators are solidly behind you to ensure that your investments are protected, and the registrars are also proactively mapping your accounts to ensure that where you have mandates and where you don't have mandates, we can bring both together and pay your dividends. So you may just sit there and get some heavy alerts in your account. It's because registrars are working with the regulators, are proactively ensuring that we are paying your dividends. So we are rounding up right now. I really want to thank everyone for participating in this webinar today. Our listeners at home across the globe, thank you so much for joining. Our keynote speaker, Mr. Tafam Makio, you did justice to the topic. And our panelists from the stockbrokers community, Ms. Ife Ejeze, thank you so much for your feedback. And Mrs. Folusho Adedeji, thank you so much, for speaking for the bank. And of course, Mr. Adebayo Adeleke, thank you so much. So quickly, we're going to take the closing remark from Augustina Obi. Augustina Obi is the head of registrar services for coronation registrars. Augustina, please go ahead.
Thank you very much, Shamaka. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being part of today's impactful and enlightening conversation. My name is Augustina Obi. I head the registrar services here at Coronation Registrars Limited. And it's truly been an honor to close this important session focused on a subject that affects every investor in our ecosystem, unclaimed dividends and the path to reclaiming them. Today's discussion has shed light on the persistent challenges investors face, from non-mandated accounts and banking mismatches to cross-border complications, probate delays, and fragmented shareholdings. More importantly, it has spotlighted practical solutions that can drive real changes rooted in innovation, education, and collaboration. On behalf of Coronation Registrars Limited, I extend our sincere gratitude to our panel of distinguished speakers. Our keynote speaker, Mr. Tafa Makio, Head Monitoring Department at the Securities and Exchange Commission. Thank you so much, sir, for delivering a compelling keynote. Our insightful panelists, Mrs. Folusho Adedeji, Head Retail Operations South at Access Bank PLC, Mrs. Ife Ejeze, Managing Director, Catchfield Investments and Securities Limited, and second Vice Chairman of the Association of Securities Dealing Houses of Nigeria, ASHON, Mr. Adebayo Adeleke, former General Secretary of the Independent Shareholders Association of Nigeria, ISON. Your insights have truly been valuable in helping us understand not just the regulatory and operational landscape, but also the human realities behind this issue. Special thanks to our moderator, Chiamaka Ugobidike, Chief Client Services Officer at Coronation Registrars Limited, for steering today's conversation with clarity and expertise. To our valued participants, thank you so much for showing up. Thank you for asking the right questions and demonstrating your commitment to unlocking the full potential of your investments. Your engagement truly gave meaning to these conversations. Thank you so much. I must also acknowledge our internal team. Your dedication behind the scene ensured today's webinar was a success. Your unwavering commitment to shareholder empowerment is what truly sets us apart. At Coronation Registrars, we remain dedicated to simplifying the investor experience. Through platforms like Shareholder Life by Coronation, we are bridging the gap between the entitlement and access, providing tools for real-time tracking, seamless record updates, and simplified processes to reclaim unclaimed dividends. As we close, I urge everyone to take action. Complete your e-mandate if you have not done so. Review and update your records. Use Shareholder Life to monitor your investment journey. Let this not be the end of the conversation, but the beginning of new clarity, action, and connection for every shareholder. Once again, thank you for being part of this important conversation. We look forward to supporting you every step of the way. Stay empowered, stay engaged. Let's unlock our dividend potential together. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.
Thank you very much, Augustina Obi. Let the conversation continue. Are there topics you want us to discuss in our next webinar? Please drop them in the comments section. Thank you everyone for joining us, and let us have a good day. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Have a great day. Bye.